A Muppet Christmas Carol gets a lot of good press. People freaking love that movie, and many refer to it as the best version of Dickens' A Christmas Carol ever made. Blasphemy, I say, with all respect to Sir Michael Caine, who must live in the shadow of Patrick Stewart and George C. Scott and Alastair Sim. But I did not come here to haggle over which Ebenezer Scrooge wins the humbug trophy. I came here to promote awesome Henson Christmas specials that just don't get the same hype. Gentle, sometimes low-budget productions that capture the season the best way possible. These are my top 5 underrated Henson holiday specials. 9 years before Toy Story, Henson put out this bizarro Toy Story. The Christmas toy has a deep darkness that rivals the infamous smelting scene in Toy Story 3, and unlike Toy Story, it knew better than to have sequels. An arrogant stuffed tiger with a vaguely Italian accent named Rugby thinks Christmas is a celebration of himself, since his only memory of the holiday is his owner declaring him her favorite toy forever. The previous year's toy, a doll who had also received an identical promise from the kid, who is, she's a kid, tries to hold back Rugby's destructive tendencies. Any toy caught somewhere besides where its owner left it means the toy will be frozen forever. Yeah, dead. But Rugby insists he will sneak under the Christmas tree and into a box to be discovered all over again, and die. An unloved but savvy cat toy, Mew, follows him to protect Rugby on his perilous journey. Eventually the other toys team up to form a rescue team, but not before Rugby and Mew run into the new toy on the block.
I am Meteora, Queen of the Asteroids!
A crazed, violent Buzz Lightyear. At this point, any doubts if Pixar had seen this movie about a cocky toy facing off with a galactic law officer can be laid to rest. This short movie is a fun exercise, and though the music is meh and the characters are not particularly memorable, mostly making us remember the other Muppet characters voiced by the same performers,
that was fun!
It is still fun to see a completely standalone Henson special with none of the usual crew. Oh, except for Kermit. That guy sneaks into everything.
The holly, we're headed home so we can...
This special is light on plot, but big on charm. Essentially a showcase for the Henson Company's current shows, it has the Muppets spending the holidays at the house of Fozzie's mom. The Sesame Street gang come a-caroling, and Doc from Fraggle Rock, who had rented the house as a quiet getaway while Mama Bear was meant to be in Hawaii, is subjected to all the Muppets' mayhem. The Muppet babies show up, as puppets, not as cartoons, and in the strangest but most charming scene, Kermit and his nephew Robin find a portal to Fraggle Rock. The Fraggles are celebrating their own winter holiday, in a way that shames the excessive purchasing going on in our world. They pass a shiny rock from one Fraggle to another each year. The show ends with a big sing-along featuring all the characters. It's not essential viewing, but it sure is a nice way to spend 1 hour. This one was a big deal when it came out in 1979. TV musical review shows were a big thing back then. Obviously Bing Crosby, Donnie and Marie, and every other star got in on the trend. But we also got bizarre spectacles like the Legion of Doom musical review and the infamous Star Wars holiday special. So why not one with the Muppets? Country pop folk singer John Denver did several projects with the Muppets, and this is certainly the best of the lot. It spawned an excellent Christmas LP, and years later a very good collaboration themed around camping. There's also an actual episode of The Muppet Show that focuses on Miss Piggy's obsession with Denver. But this one, despite just being a series of skits, contains a lot of great material, some of it very touching, like Stille Nacht, the heart-wrenching Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and It's in Every One of Us, which was reprised in that Muppet Family Christmas special. It's an unusual kids show where the slow songs are actually better than most of the upbeat material. Fraggle Rock was an ambitious project which hit me at just the right age, 10 years old, ready for wild creativity. For anyone who doesn't remember the show, Fraggle Rock was about some friends who dwelt in caves somewhere between the human world and a fantasy world inhabited by trolls and a very wise trash heap. Basically, it was a playground where Henson's team could do just about anything, and could have storylines that branched off in unexpected directions. The Christmas episode, or more correctly, the Winter Solstice episode, was The Bells of Fraggle Rock. It has a very How the Grinch Stole Christmas message to it. The holiday does not live in a store or in a place, in this case the heart of the rock, but in the joy of loved ones who celebrate rituals together. Yeah, it sounds horribly corny when I say it like that, but it's pretty charming, despite the pseudo-Buddhist cliches spouted by the minstrel Cantus, who attempts to guide our hero Gobo towards the truth.
We see with our eyes. We know with our hearts.
There, he answered your stupid question.
Well, what kind of an answer is that?
The kind that follows your question.
Also, it's got one of the best Christmas songs ever tossed out for a 30-minute TV show.
There's a rhythm, there's a rising, there's a dream of green that the earth will never ever break.
I'll come back to this one soon, probably, with a full-on review. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is a 1-hour musical version of The Gift of the Magi, set in a podunk southern town inhabited by animals. The music is great and lives up to being a story about an Ozark music contest.
When you meet somebody that don't like soul food, they still got a soul.
The Jug Band is infectious, and even the bad guys from the River Bottom Nightmare Band have truly brilliant songs.
We don't wish to learn, but we hate what we don't understand. River Bottom Nightmare Band.
This was also the origin of one of the best songs of that John Denver album, When the River Meets the Sea. While conceived as a dry run for the special effects Henson would be using in the Muppet movie, Emmett Otter has become a cult classic on its own, and is a very touching holiday staple. So there's a quick guide to some Muppet holiday specials you might not know, or maybe you remember fondly. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, I like it when they have a good time. But I tell you what, somebody's got to do something about these dishes, Sprocket. Come on. I'll wash and you dry, okay?